Hello and welcome to lesson number 15 of the series Learn to Play Violin with me. Once you get tuned, we'll get started. Just like last lesson, we're going to need rosin, our bow, and a pencil along with our violin. So here we go. I'm going to start the 15-minute timer and let's get to it. We last left off by finishing playing number 36 on page 13 of our book, TREBLE. We then moved on to a little bit of bowing practice, so we will get to that again today. We'll do both of those things today. Let's start by playing. Let's look at number 36 TREBLE. Let's see what we remember from last time. And just as a friendly reminder, this is the last piece of music in the book that has the letter names written, so make sure that you are studying up on the lines and space notes of the treble clef staff because they're not going to be told to you after this piece. Let's start at the beginning and see how we do, starting with open D, the second string going down. 1, 2, ready, play. How'd you do? If you want to pause and continue practicing, that's totally fine, and you can hit play whenever you're ready. Let's move on to Bow Builder 5. We were practicing last time our shadow bowing, where we were holding the rosin with our left hand, and we were doing those rhythms down at the bottom of the page. We did number 37 by moving the bow along the rosin. So let's do that now. Put the violin down, grab your rosin in your left hand, your bow in your right hand. Remember our bow holds that we've been practicing for the last few lessons throughout. We're going to hold it at the balance point so that it's pretty much equal weight between both sides. We hold our rosin with our left hand, and we are going to review, just like we did last time, we're going to review rosin wrap number 1. Remember the rectangular symbol means a down bow, which means you pull the bow to your right, away from your body, and then the up bow, you move the bow towards your body to the left. If you want to check and make sure that your bow hair and the stick part of your bow is at the right tension point, remember that we have our pencil trick. We go to the center and we see if we can, it's about the width of a pencil, and see if a pencil can balance in there, and there should be no gaps in between. If you need to adjust the tension, you adjust it down here at the end. Remember, it should have a little bit of a natural curve to it, or a little bit of a smile. It should not be straight across, and certainly shouldn't be bowed the other way. So those are some tips that we are all learning in this journey together. Okay, let's do number 37 with this rhythm. There's a repeat sign at the end, so we'll play it twice. Holds the rosin so that it is gently against the bow hairs, and we're not going to move the rosin. We're going to move our bow back and forth, keeping a flexible wrist. Let's try number 37, starting with a down bow. 1, 2, ready, play. Down, rest, up, rest. Down, rest, up, rest. Down, up, down, up, down, rest, up. Repeat. Down, rest, up, rest. Down, rest, up, rest. Down, up, down, up, down, rest, up, rest. Good. And you want to make sure that you're moving until full extension here. So with your elbow, full extension of the elbow. So really get some good range there. Let's look at rosin wrap number 2. Here we go. Let's sight read this. Starting with the down bow. So you're going to want to put your rosin up closer to the frog here so that you have space to move it down to the right. 1, 2, ready, play. play. Down, let's try it again. My bow kind of went rogue there and went off the rosin. 1, 2, ready, and down, up, down, rest, up, down, up, rest, down, up, rest, rest, down, up, rest, repeat, down, up, down, rest, up, down, up, rest, down, up, rest, rest, down, up, rest, rest. This is a good time to check if our bow holds are correct. Remember, try not to touch the bow hair as you readjust your hand. My thumb was straightening out, and I know that I'm supposed to have it curved, so that kind of makes an oval with that second finger there. So I'm going to just adjust that. Make sure my pinky is curved and resting on top. All right, let's try number 39, rosin rab number 3. We start with a down bow, so make sure that the rosin is kind of to the right of the bow so that you have room to move the bow down to the right. 1, 2, repeat sign, so we'll play this one twice through as well. 1, 2, ready, and down, up, rest, rest, down, up, rest, rest, down, rest, up, rest, down, up, down, up, down, up, rest, rest, down, up, rest, rest, down, rest, up, rest, down, up, down, up. Whew, that was a little tricky. And my bow slipped off the rosin at one point, but we just kept going because sometimes that happens and we just keep on playing. Great, let's put our bow down for now and our rosin down. And we are going to pick our violin back up and officially turn the page. Let's look at page number 14. At the very, very top, it says, review these notes. Write the letter names in the spaces below. Let's actually do this together. So I have, up on the screen, I have the graphic of what we're looking at in case you don't have the book. But if you do have the book and you have a pencil handy, which you should from our last exercise, feel free to pause and try this on your own and then come back and see if you were correct. So remember, the line notes of the treble clef are E, G, B, D, F in that order. You might have a saying that you know that helps you remember the order. Really common ones are every good boy does fine or every good boy deserves fudge. Elephant's got big dirty feet, something like that. That helps you remember the line notes. And then the space notes are F, A, C, E. You can come up with a saying, but the most common one is that it spells the word face. So space spells face. So that being said, the very first note follows none of those tips or tricks because it's actually under the staff. It's stuck to the bottom of the staff. That note is a D. We just have to memorize it. There's nothing that, no saying that goes along with that one. Then the next note is the very first line note. Remember, line notes, every good boy does fine. Since it's on the very first line, that note would be an E. Third note, there's a sharp, so it's some kind of sharp. We say the letter name followed by sharp, even though it's written with the sharp before the note. We say the note letter name first and then sharp. It's on that bottom space. So remember, going from the bottom up, it spells the word face. So F, that is an F sharp. Next note, it's the second line note. Every good. So since it's on, we hit the second line, that note is G. Next one is the second space. So we're spelling out the word face, F, A, that's an A. Next line note, it's in the middle. So say you're saying. What would that be? It's a B. Yeah. Then next we have the space note that's in the third space, has a sharp next to it. So think of the word that the space notes spell. Think of the third letter in that word. The answer is a C sharp. And finally, we have the fourth line going up. Think of the line note saying that you like to use. The fourth word, the first letter of that fourth word is a D. So that's a D. These are the 8 notes that we can play on the violin so far, and that's what they look like on the staff. So you can, if you wrote them in your book, you can reference them, or I'll keep that graphic on the screen so you can reference it while we're learning and moving on, learning these pieces on this page. Let's look at number 40, Carolina Breeze. Okay, we're still playing pizzicato in guitar position. We are starting with what note? We're starting with a G because it's the second line note going up. G is played how? It's played with 3 fingers on the D string. And you can see that number 3 written above the G. They're kind of helping you out. Feel free to write those kinds of things in your music if that's helpful for you as well. So let's start by playing D, E, F sharp, G. Let's start with G and let's sight read this piece of music. There's a repeat sign at the end, and let's see how we do. We'll go nice and slow, always slow. 1, 2, ready, play. G, G, F sharp, E, E, D, rest. G, G, F sharp, E, F sharp, G, repeat. G, G, F sharp, E, E, D, rest. G, G, F sharp, E, F sharp, G, rest. I'm sure you can see how the better you know the note names, the easier it's going to be to sight read this music. So I'll keep singing it along with for a while, and then eventually that might stop as well. I'm not sure. I don't really know. So let's try this one more time. We'll try it a little bit faster. Most of the notes are moving by step. This piece is kind of split into 2 sections. The first 2 measures and then the second 2 measures. Moving by step is when you move from one note, then either up or down to the very next note in order. So we go from G, down to F sharp, down to E, down to D. That's all moving by step. And then we start back at G, moving from G to F sharp to E to F sharp to G. That's also moving by step. So at least we're not kind of going all over the place, and that there's some sort of pattern going on in this piece. So those are good things to look at and realize when you're learning a piece of music, to kind of see the music as more of a big picture instead of only focusing on the exact note that you're playing and not thinking more big picture and looking ahead. Let's try this one more time. G. I won't sing the letter names this time. Let's try it. 1, 2, ready, play. Great job. Let's move on to number 41, Jingle Bells, another piece of music that we know. That's so nice because then it's easier to tell if you're on track or if there's a note that you're playing that's not quite right when you know the melody already. So that's awesome. Very cool. Okay, let's see where we start. Okay, we are starting with the bottom space note, which is an F sharp. So that's 2 fingers, which they give us that clue there. It's 2 fingers on the D string. Notice how the F sharp is written in front of the very first F, but it's not written on the second and third F in that measure. I'm not sure if I've gone over this before, but it bears repeating. When a sharp is given to a note in a measure, it applies to the rest of those exact notes in that measure, and then it kind of resets at the end of the measure. So that's why you don't see them written in front of the second 2 Fs, but once we start measure 2, they have to rewrite the sharp because the end of the measure kind of cancels out any accidental sharp, flat, double flat, or natural sign that may have been written in the music. So that explains that if you were wondering. Let's just go for it. Let's try let's try playing through line 1. This is a 4-line song, so let's try it. Here we go. Starting with 2. 2 fingers, that's an F sharp. 1, 2, ready, play. I'm sure my face gave it away. My finger was touching the A string, which is why it didn't come out clearly. So that is obviously something that's reoccurring that I need to consciously really think about my finger position, playing with fingers, right, curved fingers, instead of flatter fingers so that I'm not touching the other strings. Let's try it one more time. Maybe you have something like that. Maybe it's the exact same issue I have. Maybe it's something different. But we all have things that go really well for us and then things that we have to more consciously think about. And that's one of mine. Let's try it one more time. D, E, F sharp. All right, here we go. Let's try this first line of Jingle Bells one more time. 1, 2, ready, play. It was better that time. I hope it was better for you that time too. If you want to keep going, even though our lesson is over today, feel free. That's awesome. Or if you want to save it for our next lesson, then I'll be there too. I can't wait to see you there. Bye.